Bruce Lee, facts you may not have known. Bruce Lee's name has long become a symbol of strength, speed, and inner discipline. For millions around the world, he is not merely a martial arts film star, but a philosopher, innovator, and a cultural bridge between East and West. Yet behind the legend lies a wealth of fascinating and lesser-known details that reveal him as a complex, profound, and remarkable individual. Born in America, raised in Hong Kong. Many people assume Bruce Lee was born in Hong Kong, but in fact, he was born on the 27th of November, 1940 in San Francisco, in the Year of the Dragon. His father, Lee Hoi-chuen, was a Cantonese opera performer touring the United States at the time. As a result, Bruce acquired American citizenship at birth. His Chinese name was Lee Jun-fan. Shortly afterwards, the family returned to Hong Kong, where he spent most of his childhood. From a very young age, he appeared in films as a child actor. By the age of 18, he had acted in around 20 films, a fact many people are unaware of. Before his global fame as a martial artist, he was already known in Asia as a film actor. A troubled teenager who found discipline. As a teenager, Bruce was frequently involved in street fights. Hong Kong in the 1950s was a challenging environment, and he often clashed with local gangs. Concerned for his future, his parents encouraged him to focus seriously on martial arts. He became a student of Ip Man, the legendary master of Wing Chun. Under Ip Man's guidance, Bruce learned not only technique, but also discipline and self-control. Interestingly, because Bruce had partial European ancestry, some students initially refused to train with him. This experience strengthened his determination to prove himself. Return to the United States and the birth of a philosophy. In 1959, fearing for his safety, his parents sent him back to the United States. He settled in Seattle, where he worked as a waiter while studying philosophy at university. Philosophy deeply influenced his worldview. He read Lao Tzu, Confucius, and Western thinkers, gradually shaping his own life philosophy. In America, he began teaching martial arts not only to Chinese students, but to people of all ethnic backgrounds. At the time, this was considered revolutionary, as many traditional masters taught only fellow Chinese. His decision led to a challenge fight, which he won. The experience pushed him to refine and eventually create his own system. Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. Bruce Lee refused to confine himself to a single style. He developed Jeet Kune Do, a philosophy and martial system based on adaptability, freedom, and efficiency. He famously said, "Be like water." It was not simply poetic language, but a practical principle. Flexibility in combat and in life. Few people realize how scientific his approach was. He studied anatomy, biomechanics, and training methods used by boxers and fencers. His notebooks contain detailed records of training regimes, nutrition plans, and speed development techniques. Extraordinary physical ability. Many stories circulate about his physical prowess, and several are supported by credible evidence. He could perform press-ups on 2 fingers of one hand. His famous 1-inch punch generated remarkable power from just a few centimeters away. He moved so quickly that film crews sometimes had to adjust footage because cameras struggled to capture his speed. Less widely known is that he embraced weight training. At a time when many believed heavy muscles slowed fighters down, Bruce incorporated strength training into his regime, helping to modernize martial arts conditioning, Hollywood, and global breakthrough. In the United States, he gained attention through the television series The Green Hornet, where he portrayed Kato. However, his true breakthrough came later in Hong Kong cinema. Films such as The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, and The Way of the Dragon turned him into a major Asian star. In The Way of the Dragon, he not only starred, but also directed the film. The famous fight scene in the Roman Colosseum became iconic. His most internationally recognized film, Enter the Dragon, was released shortly after his death and cemented his global legend. close friends and students. Bruce Lee surrounded himself with individuals who shared his passion for self-improvement. Among his close friends was Chuck Norris. Their on-screen fight in The Way of the Dragon remains one of cinema's most memorable martial arts sequences, yet off-screen they held deep mutual respect. He was also close to James Coburn, who became one of his students and admired his philosophy greatly. Another student and friend was Steve McQueen, who regarded Lee as both teacher and confidant. After Bruce's death, McQueen and Coburn provided financial support to his family. Bruce married Linda Lee Cadwell, whom he met when she became his student in America. Their interracial marriage was considered bold for its time. They had 2 children, Brandon Lee and Shannon Lee. Tragically, Brandon died in 1993 in an accident during the filming of The Crow. Lesser-known facts 1. Bruce suffered a serious back injury during training. Doctors told him he might never practice martial arts properly again. Through self-designed rehabilitation exercises, he recovered. 2. He was deeply committed to personal development and kept extensive philosophical notes, many of which were published posthumously. 3. He practiced meditation regularly and placed great importance on mental preparation. 4. He developed his own protein drinks and carefully structured diet, unusual practices in the 1960s. 5. He envisioned films that would merge Eastern philosophy with Western audiences, a vision he ultimately fulfilled. The mystery surrounding his death. On July 20th, 1973, Bruce Lee died suddenly in Hong Kong at the age of 32. The official cause of death was cerebral edema. According to medical reports, a reaction to a painkiller may have triggered swelling of the brain. Over time, numerous alternative theories emerged, ranging from heat stroke to more sensational claims. Nevertheless, medical evidence supports cerebral edema as the primary cause. His death shocked the world. At the height of his fame, with ambitious projects ahead, his life ended abruptly. Legacy following his death, Bruce Lee became an enduring icon. He transformed the perception of martial arts, broke racial barriers in Hollywood, and proved that an Asian actor could become an international star. His philosophy of adaptability continues to inspire athletes, entrepreneurs, and artists alike. He influenced not only cinema, but also modern fitness culture and the evolution of mixed martial arts. Perhaps most importantly, he stood for freedom. Freedom from rigid styles, stereotypes, and limitations. He believed in constant growth and the boundless potential of the human spirit. Bruce Lee lived only 32 years, yet his impact continues decades later. Behind the image of the invincible fighter was a thoughtful, questioning, and deeply human individual. And perhaps that humanity, more than myth, is what truly makes him a legend.